going on? We got October 13th, 11:39 a.m. I'm feeling real homeless right now because I'm just sitting here back at this Walmart parking lot because waiting for my oil to be changed, but it's gonna take 2 hours before they even start working on my stuff. So I was like, might as well just get this out of the way because I'm gonna go not snowboard, skateboarding after this. So I want to get back into it. I was in it for a little bit, but I kind of frayed away from it. And I'm fucking. This is unreal. I was sitting next to throw up. I was smelling something. I was like, what the fuck is that? Um, I think we're actually gonna sit next to this no soliciting or alluring sign right here. Make sure there's no throw up around. We're good. Alright. What? Alright. So I just wanted to come on here today and basically just talk about kinda outgrowing people and understanding the process that kind of leads into it. Because I know for me, I've been feeling like I've been outgrowing a lot of people recently, and it's been rough. It's been a little rough, you know. Let's see. The first thing I really want to talk about is just like when it is time to outgrow people, still showing love to them. You know what I mean? Like because there's definitely a big difference between outgrowing and like being a dickhead about it, and outgrowing and being respectable about it, because you guys were friends before. You guys did have a reasoning for being friends. Like there was love there, so it still needs to be respected and understanding. But I feel like it's more of a love from a distance. It becomes after a while, because I know for me, when I say I outgrow people, I definitely still want them in my life, but I just know that me being around them isn't helping my progress. So I definitely I love from a distance because I know there is one day that they'll come around. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest part of doing that, and like keeping it cordial while you guys are like doing your own thing, because there is going to be a time where you guys both understand, but you don't know when that time is. You know what I mean? So you can't try and hold yourself back and trying to be like, oh, they're gonna change, because you really can't force enlightenment or change on anyone. It really is up to them on if they want to do it or not. So obviously, I'm not gonna continuously waste my energy of trying to put it into you, and you don't even want to put it into yourself. You know what I mean? But really, and then the next step to it really is surrounding yourself with the people who speak life into you. So basically, like I know self affirmation is a really big thing, but getting affirmation from other people around you, and because they see who you are and they see the value that you have, and the hard work that you're putting in, that's like, I feel like that's one of the best things ever, because it's so hard for people to show love nowadays, even just show support. And when you do find those people who are working as hard as you, or maybe even harder, or not as much, but they still see the vision, but they see you for who you are and what you're doing, it's a crazy feeling of like, because I know for myself, I catch myself doubting myself and thinking that I'm not doing enough. Excuse me. Excuse me. But then I get myself around the people who I need to be around, and then I come out of it and I'm like, oh, okay, I am on the right path. You know what I mean? But you really do become who you are around, and energy and mindset are really contagious. Like really thinking about the average. My old social studies teacher used to tell me, if you show me the people you're around, I can show you who you are, because we are really the average of the amount of people we are. And I said this before. I used to think that I was able to be like, oh no, like I could be around the guys and I'll still have my head on straight. But it really is contagious on the mindset you guys have, and the motivation that comes with it, and the energy, how it gets to a point where you do get too far of staying the same. You know what I mean? Like mentally, you get too high up that you can't come back down. You know what I mean? There's just one song. I think it's called "Come Back Down." Yeah, no, that's a totally different song. But it's basically just talking about how, like, I get so high I can't come back down. And not saying high. I don't know if he's talking about high and like drugs or not, but it makes sense for this too because once you get to a high enough wavelength, we really cannot go back down because you think too much and you process too much and you see too much around you that like you can't just deny it anymore. You know, it's undeniable now. And I feel like that's a big thing because when you do get too high, you start to realize around you and your situation around you too much. You know what I mean? Then you start to see your friends around you, and then you start to see what they're doing, and then you see the mindset that they have and the energy that they bring to places. It's like it's not what you want to indulge yourself with. You know what I mean? And I really do. I know it's not that I don't think I know that you do become the people you are around, and your energy changes, your mindset changes, and your the way you hold yourself changes because now you surround yourself around people better than you and people who are more successful in the things that they're doing. You get into this mindset of like I gotta keep going. Like I can't stop because I know for me when I would accomplish stuff I would tell my friends and then they'd be like, oh nice, and then go to like and just be like, okay, cool, you know what I mean, and then just we just do nothing. And and I just don't want that in my life anymore, you know what I mean? Like I love those guys and I know that they're good people at heart sometimes, but I know that it's just they're not going to help my process right now, you know what I mean? And I have to be able to be able enough and vulnerable enough to be able to come to a conclusion in my mind to be able to know that I'm making the right decision, you know? Because I know a lot of the time I can't validate my own opinion sometimes. Like when it comes to stuff like this about surrounding yourself with people and like knowing the right and wrongs to do in life, I can't come to the right conclusion with a lot of it. Like I can always come to a conclusion about like what I want to do with like being successful and like what I want to try. But when it comes to this type of stuff, I always second guess myself and I hate it so much. I hate it so much. But I know that now it is mandatory because being around the wrong people is just not it's not going to get you anywhere at all because you really think about you take a step back and you look around the people who really are around you and you see what they're doing and it's like it, it doesn't make sense for you, like it's not supposed to make sense for everyone, and they're not making sense doesn't make sense for them and my making sense doesn't make sense, well their making sense doesn't make sense to me. I gotta pause this because it's stressful. And next topic I had was just stop forcing connection, and alignment's gonna it's gonna bring it all to us. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of the time, even this weekend, me and my friends went to OSU, and I realized that we were chasing the party, and it was like such a waste of time. Because then we come home, and then we go to this like outside bar place, and it was just terrible too. And like I was realizing that like I was wasting my time, energy, everything into chasing something, and I'm not a chaser. I do not chase stuff. That's not for me, but for them, that's fun for them. You know what I mean? Um, and letting alignment find you because alignment is such a real thing. Like when you're putting the energy out that you want, alignment comes to you, bro. Like seriously, there's been so many things I've been blessed with in my life that I got just because I was being me. You know what I mean? I told the world that I wanted it and it happened. And it was crazy because I did not think it was like actually like that, but it really is like once you really show the world and God that you want it, like seriously, because a lot of people talk about wanting it and talk about wanting the things that come with it, but they never talk about or want to put in the work for it. And that's like that's the biggest part. You have to be able to put the work in for it to be able to get the things that you want. And I have realized that that's what this generation really has like fed off of is wanting the things but not working for it. You know what I mean? And I'm like I've definitely fallen into that of like not wanting to work, but I have also realized that I'm not a worker. Like I'm a creator. And I feel like that's what people get really caught into because they know that they can create more and they know that they can do these things. So when they are working these meaningless jobs, that's when they're like, oh, I don't mean anything and my life's not worth anything. But that's because you're not brave enough to take the chance of going up to what you want to do and fighting it back. You know what I mean? Like, and because the world beats your ass day in and day out, and especially when you're trying to make your dreams come true. So that's why you have to continuously be within yourself and stay strong within what you want to do. Because when you're not, and you're letting the world dictate what you do, it is just terrible. It is terrible because then you start questioning your own character. Then you start questioning why you're living. Then you start questioning why the people around you are around you. Then you start questioning why your family loves you. Then you just start questioning everything in your life, and you know that that's not what we are. You know that's where we flourish the most is within ourselves. So we really have to continuously remind ourselves that we're on this journey for a reason. Because it's so easy to fall into everything else in this world because it gets quiet. It does. It gets quiet and it gets lonely and it gets questionable because you get to a point you get past the dopamine hit of like, oh, I'm starting this, I'm learning. Then you learn it and then now you're just in the grind of it. So now like there's no one around to be telling you good job. There's no one you've told enough people to that you don't really need to tell any more people. Like you just gotta go do it. And that's one of the hardest parts, just going to go do it and having the discipline and continuously keep pushing and keep knowing at the end there's gonna be something. Because in the middle of the grind, it feels like there's no point. But that's when you have to grind the hardest, you know what I mean? And that's why we have to isolate ourselves sometimes before we can be around the people we need to be around. Because I know for me right now, I'm in this middle area. I've talked about this before. I'm in this middle area of I'm not where I used to be and I'm not the person I used to be, but I'm not the person I want to be yet. So I'm stuck between this weird middle. I'm stuck between this weird middle, and and it's isolating. Like I feel like this part right here is the most isolating part because we're not who we used to be, so we can't do the same things that we used to do. But we're not the people we are, so we're not surrounded by the people. We're not the people we want to be, so we're not surrounded by the people who we want to be around, and we're not surrounded by the things that we want to be. So now it's this like it's let's see what you do here. You know what I mean? And isolation, I feel like really is a necessity to find the people that you want to be around because when you're isolated, that's when you have the time to have the debriefs with yourself and have the understandings with yourself of I didn't like that or I did like that and I didn't like how this person did this to me or I didn't like how I reacted to this or you really start learning yourself when you're isolated because you have no one else to talk to. You know what I mean? Like all you have is you and your own thoughts. And that's why I do feel like isolation does come before the elevation because the isolation is necessary to understand what you need to work on to elevate. You know what I mean? And when God really like when God does isolate you and remove those people in your life, it's not for no reason. Like it's all for a reason. We are all that was cool. I just saw a crate like drop off of bed for the first time. I've never seen that before, which is pretty cool. It's really loud right now. So now we're good. Now we're behind this crate, locked. The trucks just kept moving over there. Um, but like I was saying, like when God removes people from our lives, it's not for no reason. Like that it happen. Everything happens for a reason, but especially when people are removed from our life, is like it's meant to happen. And I feel like I caught myself a lot of the time, like when I kept getting into relationships, I kept catching myself like realizing that I wasn't supposed to be in that relationship. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that to like downplay the other person, but I know that we weren't meant to be because like morals were just different and grew up differently. So we looked at the world way differently, and it was I realized like when those breakups did happen, I was like I felt like a big loss, but at the same time, I knew like I know things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Um, I guess I didn't speak. Um, but being lonely until the energy feels like the right energy finds you. But being alone till then is one of the most necessary parts because once again, it is a lot better to be alone than to be around the wrong people because then you put the wrong energy into yourself and then you start the wrong habits and just it's you know what I mean like really it gets to a point where you know what you need to do but then you have those cognitive dissociants so then it's like it's hard for you to break those but obviously it's going to be harder to break those when we're around people who are doing the same things so we have to be able to be alone and understand what our cognitive dissociants are and be able to break those over time. Obviously, it's not going to end right away, but if you're alone and you continuously work at it, it's going to be a lot easier than you trying to work at it while you're still indulging yourself with the same people who are doing the same things. You know what I mean? And I hope you guys know what cognitive dissociants are because I was just taught that not too long ago, maybe a few months ago. But it's basically just when you know you shouldn't be doing you know what you shouldn't be doing, but our willpower isn't strong enough yet to be able to break those habits. You know what I mean? And I know I have a few of those that I'm still working on, so I know that out there for other people is a thing too. um Building friendships that hold you accountable but not comfortable oh my gosh, when you're held accountable by a friend that like you actually know you like and like they're on the same path as you, well obviously not on the same path but they're on the path of growing, it's like it's such a crazy thing because like I said earlier, like you see what they're doing and you're like, oh, I can't be the weakest link. I know I'll never be the weakest link, so I have to be able to keep pushing. And then when those people are able to hold you accountable, like even with church, like I've made relationships with people there, and the first interaction we've had, like after our like relationship was built, was like, all right, I'm gonna hold you accountable. You better hold me accountable, and like it's a fair trade off, and it's like it's such a beautiful thing because we all know that we need it, and we all know that we need the community to grow. But some people are just more afraid to do that than others. But once you get that one person that holds you accountable, then you get the second person, then you get the third person, then the fourth person, then it's like inevitable to be able to grow because now you're dependent on all these people and all these people are dependent on you to be able to show growth and hold each other accountable to continue the growth. And it's a beautiful thing because when you're in a comfortable friendship, relationship, whatever you're in, you get stagnant and you get like complacent about where you are in life. And I know I'm forever growing within my mind, so I have to be able to put that into reality as well, you know. And finding people who challenge you without diminishing you, that's a hard part because there is a lot of people in the world who will challenge you and tell you what to do or tell you like, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. But when they're diminishing you while doing it, it's like what? Like I've been reading this book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And the first chapter was about how when you show appreciation for people, it makes them work a lot more because when you're showing people discouragement and you're showing them like, oh, you should be doing better, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, instead of encouraging them like, oh, I see what you're doing, man, you got to keep going, man, I want to see where this ends up at because it's beautiful what I'm seeing, like I know that you would be successful in that and I know that you could do that and I can't wait to see you do it, you know what I mean? And like incentives for each other, like oh, if we get this done we could go do this or we can I know for me I love going to nature and stuff, so I love like, okay, we're gonna accomplish this and then we'll go on a long hike or we'll go in this nature forest and just go explore because that's like what I love to actually do. So obviously I'm gonna have that incentive for myself, then you have the incentive for other people too, like whatever their interests are. Dude, if you get this, bro, we'll go do this or we'll go do that, something like this, you know what I mean? Just like once again holding each other accountable, of giving yourself a reward because you know you're gonna finish it at the end. You know what I mean? So holding each other accountable on that, and then finding the people who are able to hold you accountable, challenge you, but not diminish you. Like you guys are still holding each other up while accomplishing things, because it's so easy for people to, while you guys are accomplishing things, them to be like, "Oh, dude, you're not doing enough," because they feel like they're doing more than you, or they feel like you're doing more than them. So then they're insecure about it. So then they deflect onto you. But when you find the right people of them being able to do all of it, and you guys are giving each other the grace to like fuck up every once in a while, and then but keep each other accountable of like, hey, I know we messed up because that's our past, and we're trying to build that, but we're not going to keep doing that because that's not what our life is. You know what I mean? Like we are trying to get better, and I'm closing this part of my life off and sacrificing this part of my life, so I know that you have to sacrifice some part of your life. So really just being able to be vulnerable with each other, and just be true humans. You know what I mean? Because we really don't have to put this front on of we're always good and we're always gonna be okay, and we're like, you're really not in this life. We're gonna have those battles that we're fighting day in and day out that we don't tell other people, and and sometimes those fights are easier than other days, but sometimes they're not. So we really have to be able to be with each other and be human beings with each other, while still challenging each other, while still holding each other accountable, while still showing love to each other. You know what I mean? But I just got a text that my car's done. So this is the end of the episode. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. I know I'm recording this now on Monday, but you'll see this on Tuesday. So I hope you guys are having a good rest of your Tuesday. I hope Monday you crushed it and you were able to accomplish something that you didn't think that you were able to. And even if that you did think you were, I hope that you crushed it even harder. And we're going to crush the rest of this week. I wish you guys good luck for the rest of the week. Good things are on the way. Good things are coming. Let's go.